What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Courting. I've been having a wonderful day. The world of the super woke educator is something that's right in front of all of our eyes right now. It's with accounts like Libs of TikTok constantly bringing forth, shining a light on some of these lunatics. But what's been going on even before these woke, like Zoomer teachers, was the woke librarians. And this particular librarian is a hyper woke librarian at a $60,000 a year school, saying some truly heinous things. Hyper woke librarian at $60,000 a year New York City private school who believes that gender is fake outrages parents with tweets saying, "Burn straight white male librarianship to the ground." I get it now. I think I understand these people more as I've been covering them over the years. They're just losers. And social media gives them like ways to get attention. They crave attention. They don't have anything interesting to say. These are people that would just live the quiet life normally. Like in the 40s and 50s, they would, be married and they would just live a quiet, happy life. Now, with social media, they've convinced themselves that they're deeply unhappy. And so they adopt all sorts of pronouns and neo-pronouns and all this stuff to hide the fact that they're empty inside. That they are just deeply, deeply desperate for people's attention and approval. Maybe it's a daddy issue thing. I don't know, but these people are crazy. Parents at a ritzy Manhattan private school are outraged by its ultra woke librarian's declaration that gender doesn't exist, as well as a blood-curdling call for terrible things. Ingrid Colony Abrams, 43, a 43-year-old still saying this, at Columbia Grammar and Preparatory School, landed in hot water after parents came across a 2015 post of hers saying what I earlier said. The tweet was officially flagged as hate speech by Twitter and left Conley Abrams' account suspended for a period this month. According to the New York Post, the parents at the $59,000 per year school said it was only one incident in years of eyebrow-raising behavior from this particular librarian. Quote, "If a student posted that they wanted to do this kind of thing, wouldn't they be expelled?" one mother said. In addition, she's claiming that gender is fake, and she tweeted, "That's what she wants to keep students from matriculating in the Ivy League. Are parents aware this is what they're paying $60,000 a year for?" The mother was referring to a 2020 tweet in which the librarian wrote, quote, "Sadly, the students at my school only go on to Ivy League colleges, so I've truly failed them with my queer, freewheeling, godless, radical hotbed of a library." Conley Adams' social media is rife with woke gender philosophies, including the phrase "gender is fake" in her Twitter bio, and tweets about being non-binary, saying, "I am not a woman." Look, there's always this kind of like fine line. Like, I think that it should be possible to say these lunatic things off the clock and not have it affect your job. It gets probably a little more spicy when it's a teacher and you wonder, or an educator or somebody who deals with kids, and you wonder, are they, spreading this? Are they indoctrinating the kids? Are they talking like this with the kids? Are they doing all sorts of weird stuff like that? So I guess like with teachers and stuff, it's difficult. But like, if an auto mechanic wants to tweet out that gender is fake, I just don't see how that matters. When it's an educator in a private university, well, parents probably have a say. Certainly if I had a mechanic that was tweeting all those sorts of things, I'd probably go to a different mechanic, I guess. But I don't know. If they were really good at fixing cars, I'd probably care more about that. She also sports the trademark brightly colored hair, horn-rimmed glasses, and septum piercing seen on many modern-day social justice warriors. Parents also said their children have talked about how the librarian was, quote, forever pushing books about gender identity, including Ibram Kendi's Stamped for Kids. Now that is the red flag. First of all, Ibram Kendi is a race grifter. He is somebody who needs racism to make money, and so he creates it. Conley Abrams is known to visit classrooms to teach, according to the Post. Now it's all making sense. And even appeared on a 2020 panel titled Talking to Kids About Anatomy, Gender, and Pregnancy, geared at the topics with pre-K through first graders. Ingrid was introduced as a, quote, gender expert. That's also one of the only weird, like, are there any other fields where you're just like a weirdo and then you get to say, like, I'm a weirdo expert because I'm a weirdo? I don't think it actually works that way. I think that you're just a weirdo. So Ingrid was introduced as a gender expert. One mother said, why is a librarian also a gender expert? And why is there a panel about talking about gender with 4 and 5-year-olds? A Columbia mother told the Post the experience with Conley Abrams was becoming emblematic of a situation in New York City schools, and parents who disapprove feel powerless to speak up. Well, listen, okay, you're paying $60 grand a year. I would just doubt that kid, doubt it. That would be it. The check would be canceled. If you have that kind of money, I can't imagine you have an extra $60,000 a year to pay for private education for your kid. You could take them wherever you want. You could send them away to Hogwarts, for crying out loud. If you speak about this publicly, your kid is likely to get kicked out of school, and you or your husband could lose your job, and it's not fair. 100% right. The controversy surrounding the librarian is not the only woke fiasco Columbia Grammar and Prep has gotten into in recent years. In May 2021, parents complained about workship at the school titled Prawn Literacy, an intersectional focus on mainstream prawn, which consisted of a spicy slideshow shown to 120 students. The presentation talked about how it satisfies 3 big main vulnerabilities and all this. Why are they teaching this stuff to kids? Like, it's so weird. Oh wait, no, it isn't. Like, this is just them indoctrinating others. It's like you have this weird, you think you're weird, and you want to make other, I don't know if it's just weird, because I knew a lot of weird people, like when I was young, like people who are like Wiccan and all sorts of like goth kids, and they were, some of them grew out of it, some of them stayed that way, but it's cool being weird, I think. As I'm thinking more about it as I make this video, it's got to be a combination of loneliness and being deeply unhappy. Like, and the old saying of like, misery loves company. It feels like that's part of it. It feels like I'm a librarian and I want to confuse as many of these kids as I possibly can. That's how it feels. And I think that resonates with a lot of parents. And I mean, we talked about this with the parental rights and education bill in Florida. Like, why do you feel the need to talk to my kids about this kind of stuff? Just tell me why. Just give me a reason. I'm curious. Inquiring minds want to know why you feel that you needed to be talking about bedroom stuff with my 3rd grader. It would, it makes me understand why people think these people are preds, or creeps, because that's not a thing a normal person does or thinks about. This is a long-standing thing too. This is all the way back from 2006. Woke librarians take their politics to another level. I'm sorry, 2017. But this is 5 years ago. Everyone knows the old caricature of the local librarian, a white middle-aged woman, slightly plump, a bit intimidating, shushing patrons while wearing comfortable clothing, cardigans especially, and unflattering shoes. Sadly, a more damaging and likely more accurate moniker has emerged in the age of Google. Internet search has degraded the perceived value of public libraries. Their staffs spend their time teaching the elderly how to use the internet or scrambling around for eclipse glasses at the local news. Rest assured, they can be picked up at your local library. I love our local library. Ones that like adapt Like our local library lets, if you want audiobooks or books on tape, you can check them out there, and you can even do it digitally. Like that's a cool service that they offer. And still magazines, periodicals, and stuff like that are at the library. If you want to figure out if you want to buy something like that, our library does DVDs and movies for free, so families can go rent movies and things like that who don't have a lot of money or don't want to spend it on that kind of stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that I find a value at the library. The library's field slant is best demonstrated in the actions and sometimes disgraceful lack of action. You see all this kind of stuff. People have been talking about this, but now people are starting to pay attention. And I think that's a good thing. Beware your local school librarian. Apparently, they need to be watched too. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.